How are we doing? My name's Seth,
Hi, I'm ID Geek.
and we're about to watch Sonic Adventure on the Sega Dreamcast, done by none other than Withermin himself. Oh my goodness, it is a good layout. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look up.
Thank you so much for doing this.
That's primarily, and I am super stoked to be here today showing off this super awesome game. Getting a little bit of feedback, but that's okay. An intro cutscene to get through, so I'll go ahead and get that started. But yeah, this is Sonic Adventure on the Sega Dreamcast. We're loading off the GDEMU, so loads are going to be particularly fast, but we are playing on real hardware. This is a game that has gone through a lot of changes. Every single month, this game got faster and has a lot of very dramatic changes overall. Oh, also, I guess I probably should have said, hold on, I'm gonna restart. Whenever, I forgot to play time.
キャラクターを選んでください。
Two, one, let's go. Let's get down.
Let's get down. Gotcha. All right. We're about to watch the first. There's going to be a lot of cutscene watching in this because you are not able to skip the cutscenes in the Dreamcast version of the game because they are that good.
Yeah, they've got some real cinematic masterpieces here.
For sure.
For the sake of saving time, though, we will be finding ways to creatively get around these. But yeah, for the most part, we're going to be watching a lot of these.
Even better, they're in Japanese.
Thankfully, the voice actors are pretty good.
Great! ご機嫌だね。
It's mostly in the front. You know,
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, second half. We got some cool stuff that's going to be going on here.
There's a lot of crazy stuff they'll do to cut out some of the time that spent with the cutscenes.
Yeah, actually, especially the route that's going to be taken today is going to be very creative, more so than usual. So we hope that you all enjoy.
It is a very different run from Sonic Adventure DX as well. Like, it is practically a different game, I would say. I actually get complaints from Wither for calling it SADX sometimes, but it is that different.
yeah. So this, what you may know if you've ever played Static or if you've watched a bunch of Static runs, is that traditionally Sonic Story is a pretty cut and dried 10 stages. You're going to start with, Emerald Coast, then go into Windy Valley, then you go to Casino, then you go, so on, so on. But for the sake of skipping cutscenes, the route that I'll be doing will actually be jumping into Tail Story at some point. And we're going to be doing 11 stages.
So the bosses end up being pretty similar to how they work in SADX, if you're familiar with those. So, you're rewarded for having the prior knowledge. Hopefully you enjoy that.
One of the most interesting bosses in the game, for sure.
Do a little minute, get him coming down early, not doing the little long arm thing. And we're out.
Then we hit him with the capiche.
All of Chaos Zero's attacks are incredibly long, so it is pretty important that he gets that manip. It's quite easy to pull off, fortunately, so.
Yeah, imagine if it was hard and then you had to watch a 2-minute long
Imagine if it was
cutscene at the
Sonic
very
Adventure
beginning.
You'll also notice a lot of texture differences. They really mess things up in SADX.
I think that Sonic Adventure 1, this game, has such a timeless art style. Like, the art style of this game, just no matter what fidelity the textures are in, this game just looks amazing.
Eggman agrees.
It's true, he's nodding his head along. He's like, yeah, man.
That's what's up.
That is what's up.
So we're about to go to Emerald Coast. We got one cutscene to get through.
Yeah, Sonic's just chilling, living his best life. Oh man, I wish that were me right now.
Oh, Wither, do you want to talk about the shoes?
Yeah, so talking about big changes in the game, one of the big changes that has happened within the last year or so is with the legalization of GDMU and the more popularization of it, Japanese games prices are starting to skyrocket. So for accessibility's sake, we're allowing SD loader for Dreamcast. And alongside with that, inspired by Shadow SX, which is another Sonic game that's jumping up in popularity, we're allowing minor customization just to let everybody have their own little flair in the game. So I have black shoes on everybody because it contrasts super well.
All right, the first stage. This first part's quite similar. We're running on PC Discord. Yeah. Also, one thing you'll notice, especially at this stage transition from the first part of the stage to the second, the load is very, very fast. You mentioned earlier about the GDMU load times being really good. And it's quite impressive for such a tiny little SD card to get that out of hardware that's multiple decades old at this point.
Yeah, normally, you know, you'd hear the disk drive chugging and be like a good 2-3 seconds.
We actually broke a Dreamcast this week.
It's true.
He's my Dreamcast disk drive.
Yeah, no, Wither touched it and it just
It exploded.
Yeah, he's got something about him.
The disk drive was seriously wounded.
But the soul indeed still burns.
So water also works differently in this game in a weird way. Speeds you up, correct?
Right, when you first touch water in this game, it actually speeds you up instead of slowing you down like it does in Sadix. In Sadix, if you touch water, it kind of feels like nasty goop, but in this game, you can skim across the top of it and get big ol' speed boost.
Yeah. All right, first one done. So there's gonna be some nutty stuff coming up.
Hold on. Hey, Geek, which would you prefer, drums or the guitar?
Guitar.
You like the guitar?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for letting me know.
Let's jam it up.
Thank you.
Great chord.
That is a great chord. So we're going to be re-entering Sonic's story because I accidentally exited out of it like a silly goose. Also, I didn't do Emerald Coast very well, so I'm going to do it again just for you.
Are you actually? Twice as nice.
Twice is nice. Actually, you know what? You're right. This is a bad idea. So I'm going to exit out. Oh. What story was I playing?
He sort of just does this on the fly.
Yeah. I
keep-
think it'll all work out.
We keep telling him.
I think the estimate's pretty long, so I
That's
think
true.
I think count for this.
It's all coming
Yeah, so Tails died.
What? What happened?
This is important, I promise. So
What are you
together.
doing?
We were talking about cinematic earlier. I think that's a perfect example.
yeah, this is Tails died, so now Sonic is here to help him up, but he's got some problems with the alcoholism he's been having recently.
He's fallen into quite the pit. It's kind of sad to see. He's only like 8 years old too.
I know. Sonic's got to reprimand him.
I know. All right. Something Wither pointed out last night is Tails is the only one who holds the Chaos Emerald correctly.
Yeah, he's the only person in the game that holds the Chaos Emerald with 2 hands. And thinking that these two are supposed to both be about 3 feet tall, look at like when he holds this thing out, it's like a Tails for scale. Think about how big this thing is. Also, Geek, as our resident Japanese expert, what do you think Sonic is reprimanding Tails over?
I don't know. I think he's probably saying. I don't think he's really reprimanding him. I think he's trying to be, supportive. Sonic's usually, he tries to help his friends out.
He says, whatever you do, don't get into gambling.
And Tails is like, I got this Chaos Emerald. I'm going to spend it however I want.
Oh no. He wouldn't.
Yeah, Sonic's like, you wouldn't.
Surely not.
He's looking at him with a dead-eyed stare. He's like, don't you dare.
Well, I tried.
And Tails is like, look how proud of himself
Off
he
the
is.
casino.
All right, please explain this.
I don't know if I can explain this. Anyways, he's trying to hover. He's trying to fly, excuse me. He's going to fly into the casino area. Going to slide under the floor there and hit the load zone.
Is that it?
That was pretty
Yeah.
fast. There we
This
go.
is one of the biggest parts of the game, actually. This is definitely,
Yeah.
you'd say this was a run killer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
This whole chunk is full of some pretty precise stuff that it's easily chokeable. So, if he gets this in the first couple tries, that'll be pretty good.
The big thing too is that Tails does not have the jet anklet for any of the segment, so all the flying is like weirdly difficult and super like not something you'd be used to if you ran the category.
Okay, all right.
All right,
Yeah, we're
so
out.
TPS.
I just hit Johnson Smasher, so I'm feeling pretty good. That whole segment that I just finished is most likely the hardest part of early game.
It's ironic that Tails' parts are actually the toughest in the Sonic run, but that's just the nature of SADC. I'm gonna be a little soft reset again. Get back into it here.
Because the big thing of why we want to do that is we want to make sure that Tails is set up in front of the casino, which is really bad for his mental health and general just wealth.
Saves
But
Sonic time though, and I think that's what's most important.
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we have to optimize. Take one for the team.
Yep.
Tails needs to take a shower after this run for sure. Just smells
thankfully-
like cigarette smoke and ash.
Yeah.
Well, they have showers there, though. You know?
That's true. They do
Yeah.
have showers at the casino.
All right. This bit too, they'll be doing some funky stuff to skip some of the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, so he's going to jump off here and homing attack in such a way that he hits the kill plane. And this is our first proper cutscene skip, I think. No, actually, it's besides the soft reset. But yeah, one of the primary ways that we're going to be skipping cutscenes is by hitting kill planes and dying during them.
So those cutscene skips in general weren't found until the 2020s. So this game has kind of just been an afterthought compared to Static's for several years. But over the last 2 or 3 years, this game has had a lot of optimization and a lot of new runners. I have a lot of respect for Brandino doing Lost World 3DS, because for a while, me and Broby were definitely in this. Me, Broby, and Icky, those two first, then me later, were in the same kind of boat, where this game was pretty looked over compared to its other counterpart Static's, and all the unique stuff that's within this game has just been pretty much lost until very recently. A lot of stuff I've found, and huge shoutouts to Squeefy, who's been the biggest glitch hunter and hugest finder for most of the most game-changing things in the run.
This is still, would you say this still got a long way to go, yeah?
I still think so.
I think there's a lot you can get out of this. Anyway, back to the casino.
Yeah, he's
Watch
got it.
Tails' downward spiral.
Tails is clocked back into the daily grind.
And they send him to the garbage chute every time.
You're not rich enough to
You
enter.
think he'd learn.
Hey, that's him. He's got to clock in for a shift so he can make enough money to go up to the main floor.
Sweep it up, Jimmy.
So now Eggman will be dying, and this will be the last time we see him for a while.
He's real happy about it.
He's gone.
He perished.
Anyways, yeah, that saves time exiting, going into Tails, entering into the stage as Tails, then exiting back out again. And that still is shorter than watching that whole cutscene.
And that great thing about that Tails setup is that we'll be using that multiple times. There's a lot of cutscenes which get skipped using Tails.
Tails is very, despite the spiral into depression, Tails is quite useful. All right, this is going to be a lot different, or a little bit different than Static's. It does not do the clip there. I don't even think it's in this game.
It is not possible, no.
Yeah, they actually broke a lot of things when they enhanced the game. The director's cut included making the
cutting-
lighting bad.
It included cutting the geometry.
and destroying the art style. You guys will be on our side by the end of the run. SADC supremacy. I mean, it's literally not even a question. All right, so this skip coming up is quite interesting. If you know anything about SA2, you know there's a lot of gravity skewing, and it's very similar to this game in that regard. He's going to skew his gravity here, aim himself towards the very last little island where the emerald at the end of the stage is. So, also if you hear him slamming the triggers, the camera is another thing in this game that's actually insanely different. Better in a lot of cases. Actually, after this, you want to talk about the mitigation.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences between the Japanese version of the game and the American version of the game. So I would consider a lot of what Sonic Adventure is known for, its very strange camera and a little bit of its bugginess, a lot of that comes from the later versions of Sonic Adventure, which were all supposed to be bug fixes. But for some reason, during the localization process of translating the game from Japanese to English, they decided it would be really funny to rewrite the entire collision handling engine.
It was in Japanese, so.
Yeah, so the English version of the game plays entirely different.
Right.
The Japanese version, because of the collision handling, that's also handled by, like, the camera's also handled by that same stuff, because it's all what's known as set data inside the game's engine. So the Japanese camera, just in general, it doesn't work like a solid object, so you can clip it through walls, and you have so much control over it. The game doesn't really try to pull control away from you ever, and if it ever does, you're allowed to just yank it back. So you're kind of in a weird tug of war playing with the game, where you'll be trying to control the camera. Sometimes they'll try to take it from you, and you're like, no! And you can just prevent it from taking it. But it's pretty sick. Like, you're almost always in control in this game, which feels really, really good.
It's kind of a far cry from what you're used to playing Sonic Adventure in any other capacity, too.
Yeah, most other Sonic games are jungle.
Yeah, especially in this era. You guys, I'm sure you guys will see some good jank coming up here in Decades
Oh, yeah.
SA2 run. I'm actually very excited to see that. All A ranks is a sick category, so.
It is a very sick category.
Sonic's going to check up on Tails right now.
All right, we're going to completely skip this button here because we don't need it.
Yeah, that is a trick known as FTB. We do not need to press the button whatsoever.
Freak the button.
Freak the button.
What if it was called Freakopolis? So that's a different clip from what you do in SADX as well. It's a bit more. It takes a bit more setup, it looks like, but pretty much means the same end.
Casino, instead of being just like a trick stage that you have to like super learn, Casino ends up being like a really nice fundamental teaching stage because it uses a lot of slope jumps and a lot of there's a gravity skewed launch you do right at the end to get up top, and if you can hit that, that actually teaches you a lot of fundamentals you can carry into almost every other stage. It's really, really neat.
H?
Greg?
That was an incredible rendition. I didn't expect the HH Greg reference in the middle of Sonic. Alright, you sprayed the purple mist at it.
Tails, we got the Chaos Emerald from Tails to prevent him from gambling that one away. Only just so that we could drop it in front of the casino. And now Tails is like, hey, did I get my winnings?
How much did I earn? Said,
Nothing.
You were in the
Absolutely
red
nothing.
the whole night.
無事だあいつも必死だな
これでエメラルドは
Oh, Sonic floats in this cutscene. It's pretty funny.
置いていられないよソニック
All right, now we are going to be going off to the dreaded ice cap. This stage kind of blows. It's really hard. It's a lot harder than you'd think. So while there are a bunch of clips in this run, and this route in general is like pretty optimized, I mean, of course, I'm probably going to drop the ball on a few things naturally. It's a hard game, and it's pretty long. But ice cap, the clip that you need to do to get out is almost exactly like 2 units big. You can line up with Sonic's ear to get a guaranteed clip out, but that takes a bunch of time. So what I'm going to try to do is I have the angle I need and the camera trigger I need to hold like memorized. So I'm going to try and be doing it without slowing down. But it is an extremely, extremely small clip, and that's in the beginning of Ice Cap Act 3.
There's actually a lot of nice visual indicators on the textures in this game too. It's something I've learned. It's really strange. I also give a lot of credit to the community for coming up with all of these visual cues. Honestly, this is a pretty easy game to follow. Like, it's surprisingly really easy to like understand what's going on. All right, here we go. Ooh,
Oh,
wow!
first try,
wow!
we're out.
That's
Dang.
crazy.
All right, we're gonna fall for a bit now.
Now, we're going to fall for a little while.
A little chilly, isn't it?
It is a little cold. That's okay.
Don't you enjoy the cold silence of this empty void and the wind just blowing?
I think it's windier than Windy Valley.
It is.
Actually.
This is windiest valley.
You guys feel anything right now? Oh my gosh.
They don't,
It's
chilling.
tension.
I'm going over here now.
Okay.
I think I'm a little. Oh, I actually don't like where I am, but I should be okay. Copium. I think I just lined up. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yo,
Yeah,
there
we're
we
nice.
go.
We're in.
All right, so something funny about this game that's also in statics but more strong in this game is you can wiggle and he falls faster. So I'm going to do that here to get around here so I can get to this speed pad. If I hit that element ball form and I stay to the right, I can try to get here quickly. 111, not bad. Not bad at all.
Especially for how inconsistent this stage can be sometimes. Getting that clip out first try is big deal. Very cool.
I have to make sure not to touch the analog stick right now because if I do, the camera freaks out. Is this... Oh, no. We're taking a little dip. Okay. I got the gravity skew to launch myself in. And now we're going to be doing a trick called raisin launch.
The lovely Broby.
We love Broby.
We love Broby here. We're Broby heads. We're Broby filled.
So that skips the long cutscene before the Knuckles fight. So now we just go smack him a few times, just to let him know we're here.
Y'all ready for Chaos 4?
I can't wait.
And now Sonic just had like a quick vision in his head. He's like, I wonder where Tails is.
Well, let's take a look at it for now.
Surely he's not at, well, there's no way. He's learned his lesson by now.
It's like a Family Guy sting, you know? It's like...
It's like the time Tails went to the casino.
It stinks.
Maybe he'll get better soon. I don't know if there's any support groups in Station Square. And I don't know if they'd allow two-tailed foxes.
Yeah, we gotta get into the SSSG, the Station Square support group. I don't think that thing's gonna be around much longer, though. I think it's looking for... It's gonna be underwater pretty soon.
What makes you say that?
So we have now dropped our Chaos Emeralds. Thankfully, Eggman's not around to pick them up, but who is this freak?
He sort of shows up now just because that cutscene's completely gone. Thanks to Tails' crippling game. This is known as one of the most interesting and entertaining bosses in the game. Far
absolutely.
and wide, people talk about this boss. Oh, I've never seen a boss like it's crazy. It is particularly very boring. It's also a bit fickle with the times you can get. Yes.
Right. So I just got past the first RNG check. So he's going to do 2 separate attacks, which are complete RNG rolls you can't really mitigate. I just got both of them as good as you can get, really.
Nice.
So I just saved 20 seconds over record. Funny enough.
We are cooking.
Yeah, so I did not get blue balled twice, which is fantastic because that means I can actually finish this fight at like a 1:24. I don't forget what time it is, honestly.
You got that twice in your run?
Yes.
Oh my lord.
It's so sad. I'm hilariously unlucky at this game. I will go weeks without ever seeing a different attack. I will only see the worst one possible.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is very good.
This is about as good as Chaos 4 goes. Now, if he gets too close to me, then he'll freak me out anyway. Like he'll make me lose 10 seconds, just a little jokesy. But it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. I'm staying away from him. Okay, now I can run up on him. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 134, which is about what you can expect.
Hey yo, 134.
This is a pretty good run.
This is a pretty good run so far. So I'm going to soft reset during this FMV cutscene. Sorry, PlayStation fans, we don't get these here. And this is going to be a 2-for-1 because we're also going to go back to the casino.
Let's see if he's in the green yet. He's been here all day.
He has been here all day. And
Yeah!
he is,
Welcome back.
he
Welcome
is
back
still
to
there.
Cassinopolis.
The old Cassin.
Okay.
Bye, Tails.
Eggman, he's going to show up for a moment. He's going to try and tell us all about his flying battleship. He's going to get a couple syllables out, and then we're just going to tell him to shut up.
Why didn't Sonic ever just tell him to shut up?
Put
Oh!
in the earpods.
I actually didn't know the text box appears like that. Oh, is that the Tails? That's you can place Knuckles on.
Yeah.
Now this trick,
It's surprisingly tight. just the way that the collision of this wall works.
Oh my god!
I'm so happy.
That is a huge dub. That's a
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
is a
goodness.
super
There's
long cutscene.
there is so much that can go wrong there. That trick is practically luck based. The kill plane itself can move out of the way. There's a wall that only spawns if you're doing a light speed dash. There's like 3 things there that are specifically designed to prevent you from doing that. So whenever you hit it, God was on your side and you played well. It's always nice. This run has had really good RNG so far.
It's been very, very gracious. Do you want to talk a bit about the light speed dash? that you
Yeah,
did there?
sure. I'll talk about that. So the lightspeed dash is used a lot in this game. The lightspeed dash in general it goes about 3 times further than it does in statics. If you let the lightspeed dash go, you'll go about yay far in statics. If you let it go in SA1, you go about yay far. It's a huge difference. So the lightspeed dash gets used for a bunch of different things. And we're going to start doing a lot of tech relatively soon within the next couple stages called silly hopping, which is where you maintain the lightspeed dash state, so you're glowing blue and pulsating like a little freak, and then you curl into a spin dash, release your lightspeed dash button for 1 frame, press it on the next frame, and then you can press A, and that allows you to speed dash, charge, spin dash, jump. So instead of saying all that, it's called a silly hop.
It is quite silly.
It is very silly. Whenever I'm doing those, I don't know if I can really show it. I do this with my hands. I do the Dark Souls curl, so I can hit multiple buttons at once.
I'm sure that'll be fine 10 years down the road.
It's not that bad. I just use my knuckle to hit the side of the button. You know, it's not as terrible as it seems. I generally like this freaking thing because it has such good ergonomics for my big alien hands. Like it feels great. I love the Dreamcast controller. I love this stick. And as everyone that's touched this has found out, my stick is like shockingly resistant compared to the average Dreamcast
Yeah,
stick.
no. Every other Dreamcast control stick I've ever used is quite like slippery almost. But Wither bought his new inbox, yeah.
Yeah. So also, shout-outs to Geek, who's right here for the Rumble pack that's inside this controller. I've been
so immersed.
I've been running with Rumble, and I gotta say, when Chaos Zero lands in the cutscene and he hits the ground, I felt that.
Oh wait, it does that?
It does that,
Okay.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Huh.
This is gaming in 1998.
I can't wait for 1999.
I know. It's gonna be a banger of a year.
Dude, I think the Dreamcast is gonna win.
How could it not?
I mean, it's got everything. Internet, keyboard,
Microsoft
Sonic.
Office?
Yeah. There's Windows CE. It says it right on the box.
It says it right on the front.
You can do spreadsheets. Oh, it's incredible. It's gonna be a great workstation machine. I see it going real far.
And if my kids ever be an ornery, I can just give them C-Man. You know, just give them a friend.
Iconic cutscene here.
Some good-looking sand.
テイラさ
The first thing he thinks about is his poor friend Tails.
いいです
It's at the casino again.
We've got to go to the casino to make sure he's okay. Ugh, anime children. Just like Sonic, I also shake my head pretty disapprovingly. There's no time for women.
Like, poor girl.
She's just looking on. She's like, what happened? Whoa, that might be. Is that a swear?
キャラクター
Yeah, we do not get to check on our friend Tails, unfortunately, even though we were right by the casino, because this broad has stopped us. Now I've got to go take care of her. That's okay. We know where he'll be at. He'll be there all night.
I believe Twinkle Park is up next. And that's a very cool stage, especially at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun stuff going on there with the. Also a clip in here.
There we go.
There you go.
So this is a really fast one called Rat Clip that replaces a much harder strat called Canada Clip. Rat Clip, it shoots you straight down, and then you go into the stage trigger. So you skip more of that cutscene than you would with another alteration.
Whoa!
Yeah, I caught some big air there. Also, that guy.
Yeah, did he get
Just
that
robbed
acid?
you.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a hit and run. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, this is a little bit scary.
These guys are
no, he's
bullies.
got it.
Okay, I've got 11 rings. That's okay. We're just gonna go.
Lock in.
We're going for
Keep
old
winning.
reliable. Right on the speed
There we
pad.
go.
The dub stands for Wither. Don't forget it. You hated that. I could tell. It's like, oh.
So unfortunately, because I got robbed twice, average Maryland driving experience, I am just so slow. I am so much slower than I want to be. The reason we take the light blue car is for the better air turning, because all the different cars do have different stats.
So he skips the roller coaster, which is a bit anti-fun, but
Yeah,
it's all on the
sorry.
sake of speed.
Yeah, he's just trying to see his friends.
He needs to check up on Tails. He's got no time for amusements.
There's nothing amusing about this park. I'm stuck here. I'm worried.
I love that wobbly guy back there.
I thought he was a big pair of blue jeans when I was a kid.
Blue jeans.
He looks like he's got shorts on his head.
Weirdo.
Like on my CRT, I had no idea what I was looking at. I thought it was just like a dude with pants on his head that got big or
あのロ
something.
ボットのやつエミの方に向かったんだ
I don't know. Like the last game I played before that was like Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. So I was down for anything.
Down for sentient pants.
Of course. It's like Jimmy Neutron.
It's episode 1, by the way, for all you heads out there.
all you ice cream heads.
The Jimmy boys. All right, we're popping right in to Speed Highway. An incredibly cool run to watch.
Sonic is a good Samaritan, so he sends the ID back to where he found it, the street.
This is visually one of the most entertaining stages to watch, I think. I think my personal fave is probably Lost World, just because of how jank it gets. You guys you're in for a treat for that one. There's some cool stuff going on in Lost World, but this stage is just, even casually, visually fun to look at.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're going fast. It really makes you feel like
you're
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that happens. It's 1998, man.
And we got the exaggerated swagger of Blue Hedgehog.
The only downside here is we don't get to hear the second half of the stage.
Not for
song
long,
very
yeah.
long. It's one of my favorite tracks in the game.
Sonic Adventure is such a phenomenal soundtrack.
Very, got a lot of variation to it. It doesn't stick to one style. My problem with SA2 is that it's all mostly like 2000s butt rock, aside from a few.
Each character in SA2 has their own style, and they won't change.
But yeah, this game. I'm really hating that visual laugh. This game's got quite a good variation in its soundtrack. Also, speaking of vinyl earlier during the Sonic R run, this also has a vinyl pressing along
It
with
does.
SA2. And oh my god, it is disgustingly expensive. If you didn't get it when it was out, then
I have the original Sonic Adventure vinyl, the blue and white colored discs.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
it,
cool.
it is gorgeous. It sounds amazing on
You
vinyl.
put it on a Crosley Cruiser, I bet.
All right, so I am going for a trick now.
Yeah, the police have closed down the casino, but
We gotta
we're
get
trying
bricked
our
up.
best.
We do have to get bricked up. I'm not.
Oh.
There was brick, but maybe a little too much
Unfortunate.
up.
Yeah, a little bit bricked, not enough up.
Go here. This one's quite cool as well. You'll notice that it's quite a big theme going on in this game.
Yeah, this is a relatively new discovery as well. One of the more recent things to be added to Sonic's story. It is not. I did not get it.
no,
I
no.
didn't die.
That's unfortunate. We just found our way in. That's okay.
Same time. That's how I feel, dude.
I know. Whenever you miss it, you do go, eh. The worst part about this is spawning here in front of the casino. Because not only can we still not go see Tails, but now I have to deal with this awful camera flipping around here. This is the worst the camera gets in this
That's
game.
awesome. I don't know why they would design the train station in such a way that the camera gets stuck on the stairs you're supposed to go up, but...
Sonic is going to check on Tails anyway.
All right, this is it. I think he's finally clean.
Yeah, this is it. This is the last time we'll have a chance to check on Tails for the whole run. So let's see if therapy worked out for him. Oh.
Come on, Tails, let's go home.
That's like his. That's
One
like
more
his
spin.
That's his apparition of Sonic trying to bring him back.
Are you in there, buddy? It's me, your pal.
It's me, Sonic. Sonic. She is dead.
Rip.
We will never see her again.
All right, so interesting bit here about the lag reduction he's going to do here. There's a very specific line what it's going to have to take in order to reduce lag in this section. It actually happens quite a lot throughout the run. I think you got it, yeah.
I did nail it, yeah.
Very good.
太古の光よ
You just sort of, that was sort of found through trial and error, yeah.
It was. I did that segment repeatedly to see where the lag would happen. This game in general, the camera management I mentioned earlier is so important. So much stuff in this game causes lag, and a huge chunk of what separates the top level from the mid level is lag reduction. There's lag reduction that you will do in almost every stage at almost every time in the game. And nowhere is that more important than that line right before Red Mountain and right in the beginning of Red Mountain.
Red Mountain gets chuggy. It's pretty bad. Alright, here we go. Gotta lock in for this right here.
Oh. Pretty close. That one was a little weird. I lost 2 of my hover frames due to some lag. Every frame of lag that happens takes a hover frame away from me. So that's part of why that camera management matters so much there. I did get it in a place that wasn't terrible, but I was on a place on the rock which I wasn't super comfortable with.
There is an incredible amount of just camera movement that's incredibly subtle too. Like you could run the game for years and probably not even like know about it unless you like ask somebody. It's one of those hidden master techniques.
Yeah. Oh my god, I got owned by that guy.
Yeah. Routing through that tunnel right there is so annoying. It's one of my least favorite things in the game.
It's very, it's an incredibly tough one to pull right there. Let's spin that jump.
Whoa. So I actually did not have a frame to spin dash jump there. Because the game pulls at 34 FPS, there is a lot of times where you have to input some stuff in between frames. So some one-framers, you don't actually have a visual frame to reference. And stuff like that, where I was at the edge of that rock, because the game chugged just a little bit, my pulling rate went down to probably about 29. So I actually could not have made that jump even if I was a TAS. I should have just I took it a step backwards, I would be fine. And no, I'm not Mr. Tool. Alright, how do you feel about the 2 gorillas?
I think they're probably the best part.
He's clean!
No, he is flying that plane drunk. He is absolutely zooted. Look at him, he's tilted. This is only going to end in disaster.
Yeah, Sonic is thinking really hard about
Jesus.
getting on there. Alright, man, I guess.
Some mistrust.
We all take a cab with a drunk driver sometimes. The drunk driver just so happens to be the cabbie sometimes. You know, you can't. It's unavoidable. You got to save the world. Whatever.
Also, shoutouts to the plot here. What was Sonic's plan? He had no idea where Tails was, like in canon.
Oh, I think
no clue. He had no idea Tails was gonna have the tornado.
Very convenient. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
he got to the top of the mountain, watched the egg carrier go away, and he's like, "Oh, whoops,
Guess I messed up.
oh, that's over."
No, my degenerate gambling buddy Tails has come to save
Thank
us.
God, he's got the tornado on lock. He knows exactly where I'm gonna be at too.
Where do we need to go?
And Tails rolls out of the casino. He's like, "Who's the only person that makes worse decisions than me? If I was a dummy, where would I be right now?"
Oh, it's not Red Mountain. Well, whatever. All right, I'm pretty sure everybody knows that Sky Chase is the time where you go take a break, go to the bathroom, grab some popcorn. One of my favorite things ever, one of the earliest GDQ events that I remember seeing, they were doing SA1, right? And during the first Sky Chase,
They were doing what?
SA1, Sonic Adventure 1,
They were doing what?
the game that's currently on the screen.
They were playing Sonic Adventure.
Whatever. I forgot. It's 1998.
It's 1998.
Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to see. future right now. Anyway, this guy made a sandwich
Why is
during
the future
Sky
ugly?
Chase.
That's awesome.
And he ate it. Incredible stuff.
I like flying. Flying is fun.
Try spinning.
Here, I'll just pick up this guy.
Yeah, why do we have that in the plane?
For this exact comment. Tails came back from the casino one morning like,
You
I'm
know,
just imagining like the
really
blueprint,
funny.
like the schematic for that.
Sonic, it's just called like Sonic grabbing arm.
it's crazy what a hungover Tails can come up with.
Why did he have that? I'm trying to think about it. I guess he knows Sonic really well, because not only did he catch him at Red Mountain unprompted, he had his Sonic grabbing arm ready, because he knew if he built a second chair, he wouldn't sit in it anyway.
I mean that's been happening since Sonic 2, honestly.
Yeah, that-
so you know.
Well,
Right place, right time.
he used to be on the wing. At least that freak is in the back now.
Also, you'll notice his fun fact. Did you know? His model is lower poly. In fact, it's the bubble from Sonic Jam.
It's
on the
true.
Sega Saturn.
So they are using Saturn models for the low poly distance models here. If you zoom the camera in, you can see that that is the same model that was used in Sonic Jam, which was going to be, to my understanding, the model they were using for Sonic RPG. Sonic RPG is what Sonic Adventure was before it became a platformer.
That was a great choice to switch, I think.
Like stuff like Lost World, like that background and whatnot, were initially going to be like pre-rendered backgrounds, like Final Fantasy style, that just ended up finding their way into this game.
They did a lot of incredible like photography work to get some of these textures too.
It's true.
There's an entire like I'm sure you could go to Sonic Retro and find this, but there's an entire section of vacation photos from the dev team. It's so like I don't know. This is like they don't make games like this. Anymore.
They don't make games like this anymore. That's on the disc too. If you, like I said earlier, we allow custom textures and custom ADXs. So a lot of users out there have cracked open these, have cracked open their disc files. And whenever you take a look, before you get to the game files, the main root directory is just a bunch of pictures that don't matter. It's just a ton of vacation photos and stuff, and like random JPEGs and whatnot that are super low, like compressed of like screenshots from the commercials and whatnot. It's real neat. It's real fun to look through this game. You can tell in every ounce of it, even when digging through it, that this game is full of just so much passion.
I feel like fun was had. You know,
Absolutely.
I felt like I don't know. It's just hard to describe. His shoes were red. Dude, that bugs me. You're gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Oh, dude, Tails is hung over.
Here
Did you
we
see
go.
those eyes?
I did.
Where am I? Why can't I breathe so? All right, it's gonna be another good beer. Maybe. There we go.
All
Shout
right.
out to Ethan.
Shout out to Ethmar. That's the Ethmar float. That is what he sounds like. I guarantee somewhere out now he's playing volleyball right this second.
Absolutely.
We miss you, Ethmar.
Please wake up.
He is the sleeping giant of the Sonic speedrunning community.
He is a giant. That dude's so tall.
I feel like such a manly comparison. My dude, it's not fair.
Ethmar is like he's the gentle giant. He's so nice.
He is.
He's as nice as he is tall.
He's
What a homie.
sweetheart. He's America's sweetheart. The pride of Baltimore, Maryland.
Sonic flicks his nose here and says, "Come on." It's really dope.
He is really cool.
He's so cool. I wish I was Sonic Hedgehog. Alright, I'm gonna wait a little bit to make sure we don't soft lock, because I learned that lesson the hard way, the way Eggman intended.
Oh, wow, that was a deep one, man. I feel like kind of a nerd for giving. But actually, one of the interesting things about GDMU is that if you menu too quickly, you're toast. It happened to me. I was just playing casually last night, and it happened to me. I was so befuddled. But yeah, it turns out if you do optimal menuing, you're not doing optimal menuing.
It's true. If two ADXs load at the same time, because that's not possible on disk, the console's like, I guess I'm out.
Puts up the deuces and fades away. This part's quite similar to the way it is in Statics. Also, the music choice here, you'll notice that Wither has picked some sick, nasty jams to put on for his ADX swaps. That's a lot of runners do that to avoid the monotony of listening to the same song over and over again. It especially helps with games like this that have such a good soundtrack. You don't want to like Great Diggle cannon here.
Excuse me?
Now we go.
There we go.
The last section is right here. Also, exact same Statics. Oh,
that was awesome.
That's a dub.
That was a sick sky dive.
I'm feeling pretty good about a 115 live.
Jeez. Let's go, buddy.
This run's kind of
You're
good.
kinda cooking.
This run's kind of
Are
good.
you the sous chef here?
I'm the whole flight.
This man's a genuine article.
It's true. They got me on the paper.
I'm on the payroll. I'm a young professional.
I am a young professional. Okay, we're on the Pukovator now. And once we get up here, we're getting close to the end of the cutscenes, really. From this point forward, there's no more super massive skips. So we're just gonna have to play out endgame, which isn't so bad because that middle section's pretty brutal, and this has a lot. It has a lot of really tough cutscene skips back to back. So once you reach endgame, you just have really tough stages and relatively minor hub world movement. The last big hub world thing left is Captain's Quarters clip, which is very funny. So whenever you get into the right spot for Captain's Quarters clip, which you may know from Statics, you go up and you go in, you'll see it. Sonic in this game, when he's in the right spot, will spin. He just goes whee! And for a long time, like a couple months, we didn't know how to stop that. So it was like chance time for us. If you were going for that skip, you would just have to time it like a Mario Party minigame. And if you failed it, well, get owned. But now, Squeefy was like, hey, if we jump cancel, you know, something we do literally everywhere else, that doesn't happen, and it's way easier.
It pays to have a nice community around you.
It does. I have half a brain, so having people in the community who have more brain than me is fantastic.
So shout out to the Wither team.
It's true.
This is such a big color.
I know, I love it. Okay, let's see if I can get a funny frame. I don't know if I got one. Let's see. Oh, that does not look good. His arm is...
Sonic may have indulged in it himself. Get him.
I like the way he turns. Like, oh, huh?
Oh, it looks like he's giving her a little hug.
Leave him room for Jesus at least. Where's bro looking?
He is zonked.
I am utterly destroyed.
Shutdown mode initiated.
Traveling to casino.
Welcome to Cowboy World.
Shoutouts to Super Magnetic Mew.
We love Mew here. Yeah, I'm gonna actually, while we're doing these last couple cutscenes, shoutouts to all the other Dreamcast speedrunning communities. There aren't too many super big ones, but the massive ones I want to shout out are, of course, Shenmue. The Shenmue scene is fantastic. The Sonic Shuffle scene. I can't believe y'all do that to yourselves. Of course, Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, a game that I've tried but I cannot get into because it is just way too hard and way too weird. But the people that do that are absolute troopers. Super Magnetic Neo, of course, one of the best games ever made, one of the hardest games ever made, only on the Dreamcast, and the Power Stone community. Those are all games I've indulged in a little bit myself, and those communities are all so welcoming and so fun to be in. Also, I just rocked that.
That was so
Yo! That's a clap. I think that's worth a clap. Alright.
We are transforming the egg carrier for, I believe, the last time.
I feel like I'm at the metro station.
They really got that metro station filtered down. The future was then.
The future was then. Where are we at now?
The past. We've recessed. This game also had DLC.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's so easy to forget because it's literally like a existent thing almost in the ports of the game, which is weird considering they kept putting it on things that could support DLC. I don't know. Who am I? I'm just some schmuck, but maybe I don't know. They could have put a little bit more into it. But yeah, the Sega Dreamcast, the fact that it has its own community within speedrunning, I think is
It's
a
so
testament
cool.
to how good this console is. And it's probably going to single-handedly win the console.
It's true.
I
Look
think-
out, PS2.
Put all your stocks into Sega right now.
They're gonna recreate their Master System success.
To the moon, buddies.
Diamond Hands Sega.
And Sega.
You know, Chaos 6. This boss is interesting. I've heard of having the dog in you, but I've never heard of having the frog in you.
Boo.
I love this piece though.
This is a really cool design. All the designs for the different Chaos monsters. Fire. Or water. Good lord.
How many bosses are there in Sonic where you like actually throw objects at them? Like
Where you
do
throw-
do interactive things besides just like hit them.
This is it.
I was doing that last night. I was just placing it next to him and he was breathing. Easy peasy. Two-hitter.
Oh, also, I didn't show it off. I forgot to. But in the Japanese version of the game, for whatever reason, the camera's completely unlocked in that boss fight. And you can just spin it around like free cam. It's not even something you can do in statics.
What was called Freak?
What if it was called freak cam? And whenever you moved the stick, it got freaky. Even Eggman's like, ee! He doesn't like that one.
No.
What if it was called freak
What if it was
Man?
called the Freak Carrier?
The freak carrier. It would be apt. It's got a lot of freaks on it. Yo, Knuckles. Knuckles does not get a chance to respond. Sonic,
Cooked him.
he's so cool that he gets a three-way shot on this. Check this out. We get the first angle.
Boom.
We get the second angle.
Boom.
We get the third angle.
Look at that.
He was seriously
They
wounded.
were cooking, dude. 1998. What a great year to be alive.
It is really impressive how, like, again, keep in mind, like, look at this game. Look how good this game looks. This looks like an early PS2 game at, like, the absolute worst, right? And the lighting is even more impressive than a lot of stuff, even from several years in the future. That's why they went down, man. They were too far ahead. It's so sad.
Dude, I think it's a conspiracy.
You never want to be the first of the race.
Absolutely not.
No.
All right, this stage coming up is insanely cool. I really, really love watching this stage, especially where they're doing it.
Now, if you liked Brandino's run, get a load of this. We're going back to Lost World, baby.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
I love Lost. They put Lost World on the Dreamcast? Oh my god.
なんだ誘ってるのか
Even Sonic's befuddled.
That's true. He's like, what the hell? I remember playing that on my 3DS. He's like, oh boy, I hope it's Mario Galaxy in there.
Good thing I'm older than 7. Otherwise, my eyes would be straining like hell right now. Isn't that the thing? You have to be older than 7 to use the 3D on the 3DS.
6-year-olds in shambles.
Things are about to get sick, especially towards the end of this stage. Chef's kiss. Mwah.
This first 20 seconds is just very stressful. Just trying not to hit walls and slow down. That was a pretty good tunnel.
The walls want you to hit them. It's kind of crazy the amount of like mitigating your direction that happens in this game.
Now
Sort
it's
of
time
just
to
sort of sucks you in. Let's go. Up here, he's gonna
Ooh, we're
perfectly
through.
clip
This is
through
good.
the door. All right, we're on one.
I'm so ready for this. I love this. So, a little bit of movement to make sure that it never gets dark in here. Gonna land on the pillar. We're gonna do is this the first silly hop that we're doing?
It is.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
not
I messed
quite.
it up. I was a little bit too far forward.
Keep in mind you have to jump while retaining the aura of the ring death around you. So I think you showed off what you did with your hands earlier. It's not the easiest thing in the world, especially with the Dreamcast controller sometimes.
charge here. And we're out.
Let's go.
Let's get back in.
First try, baby.
That saves so much time. That waterfall cutscene's so long.
Yeah, the waterfall itself is a lot slower than it looks because it causes a bunch of lag. So you're actually losing like 3 extra seconds compared to the IGT timer. All right, so I'm gonna be going for another silly hop strategy here called Broby Deluxe. Shout out to Broby. He did this on the whim. He's like, I think this looks cool. Someone should try it and see if it's actually fast.
Yes!
There we
First
go.
try! Easy. Easy peasy.
I'm so good at this game. Man.
No, bro, you're
Yeah,
cracked today.
I'm feeling good about that. What are we at? RTA. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need to retime this when I get home. That water is freaking me out. What if it was called Freak World? They do got that freak energy water. Call that an energy drink.
Womp. Alright.
So, okay, Eggman's a smart guy. You know, we know that, kind of. Why did he believe stone tablets? Why did he look at those and go, that's real?
He was coping so hard. He's like, this has got to be it. This has to be it.
Like, Sonic 3D Blast just happened, and he's like, you know, man, what do I do? And Sonic 2, he's like, what?
What?
Exactly.
All right, so we've got 2 silly hops in the run so far. You're like, wow, that sure was silly.
Did it get any sillier?
Could it get any sillier? First, we must look at the corpses. Those are pretty funny.
Every time you throw Chow against the wall, this is what happens. Look at them. They're right next to the wall.
Oh my god. This is what happens when you hatch the Merle.
Someone should put those people on the list. If you're throwing Chows against the wall, Chow should. If you're throwing
Chaos
Chaos against
like,
the wall.
why? Who could do this? Who could throw Chaz at walls?
Who could do it? And it just zooms in on
looks
Sonic.
directly at the screen.
I did
Looks
that.
at you.
I like how this is the only time we actually see that Tikal is a player character, because they've like used her to walk forward.
That's it.
That's it. Also, Sonic looks like a Muppet in this cutscene. Give him a look-see.
He's got a little bit of a mug.
Oh, yeah, I finally noticed the lighting around his like face.
And he has like,
he's like
a
pursed lips.
yeah, he's like a creased mouth. He looks like a Jim
did the-
Henson creation.
He did the Kermit like mouth in where he.
We get out of that cutscene. He's like, hi ho. This is the second. I think this is the third time Sonic does this animation. He's so mad he throws the hand out. He's like, yeah, give it a second. He's like,
Ooh.
You listen to me right now, huh?
that's some sticky grass. Okay.
Shout out to this puzzle. It takes me like 3 minutes every time I play this game again. Alright. Crazy stuff going on right here. You're gonna want to be
He's
keeping
gonna
your
have to
eyes
get through all of Eggman's crazy, contraptions that he's built up.
Yeah, who knows what that crazy guy cooked up for. What?
I missed
Oh,
Not
no!
quite.
Womp womp.
The collision on that capsule is terrible. You have to land on like the far side of it, and only on like certain specific spots. Like sometimes you'll land and you'll like just slowly slide, and you're just praying that he doesn't fall off.
This is a particularly difficult one.
Whoa.
Man, what if it was called a
Freak
freaky
capsule.
Jump? What if it was called freaky jump instead of?
Freaky.
Oh, got
Yeah.
a donation, it seems.
See, it's from Garrett for $5 saying, shoutouts to Tyler, John Turkey, IDG. Thank you, Garrett.
Thanks, Garrett.
It's not easy being John Turkey, but it pays. Oh my!
Ooh, we're on.
Whoa!
We're so on.
That was actually better than getting it first try. Just how much I was on the edge of my seat right there.
We have no idea what time I got, but we do see the shoe.
That's what's up.
Can I say I'm a freak? Yeah, I'm a freak.
You're gonna regret that one.
You think so?
Yeah, it's all over Twitter now.
I'm freaking out.
All right, we're at the last part of the game.
Oh,
Right here.
I'm looking up at the time, and I'm
not
not.
quite
I'm,
going to be sub 1.
I'm not quite gonna make it, but it's so close.
This has been like quite a good run too,
Yeah.
especially for a marathon setting. The luck we've gotten has been like unprecedented.
Honestly, and this still, I'll have to get a loadless timer out, but afterward, this route does lose a bit of time to the other route I was doing, RTA, but it's much faster loadless. So I'll have to break out the loadless timer on this one, because this one's kind of a buzzer beater. It might be, we might be looking at record if I don't, you know, mess up Egg Viper. But there's going to be no way to know without an official read time. Either way, I'm so happy with this run so far.
Incredible. No, he's even practicing before he was cooking. It's crazy. The consistency is something to behold.
Got me that Greek yogurt in me.
That's what's up, dude. Good breakfast, good gameplay. Also, shout outs to the, what is it, Satan's theme?
It's Satan's theme, yeah.
From Boyo Boyo. Go so hard. I like it when he pops out. Little gremlin.
Yeah, while I'm going through Egg Viper, shoutouts to all the more recent runners who have come into the scene. Shoutouts to Must Include 3 to 25. Shoutouts to Underground SR. Shoutouts to the old heads, Icky and Broby, the people that inspired me to do this in the first place.
Big ups, big ups. Shoutouts to new runner ID Geek 121.
That's
wow.
true.
Bro's got a time.
He's on the come up. He's got
It's
a
like a new disc drive to keep playing again.
yeah. We gotta repair that cast.
But yeah,
The soul does still burn.
The soul will burn. The legend will never die. Here we go.
All right, check this out. The song is gonna change as soon as this next phase starts. That sync is so sick.
It's like it was made for this. Did that just happen by like happenstance, or did you like pick a song specifically?
It was happenstance.
That's cool. We're coming up on the end here.
We are coming up on the end.
Eggman's Japanese voice actor, man.
All right, so we are going to be coming up on time. I got to do the final hit here. And then as soon as that in-game timer stops, we'll be saying time. So let him float around for a little bit. He's going to hit us with his favorite sneak attack, freak attack. And once he goes for this and then explodes into a giant, awesome, dynamic curtain, that is going to be time.
Oh, yeah. It's all done.
Oh, yeah. It all came together. But we're not done just quite yet.
Oh no, we got some more skipping to do.
So, this cutscene, Sonic is still thinking about his good friend Tails. We don't quite know what's happened to him, so we got to give him one more look. We've got him therapy. We've got him everything he needs.
Prayers in the chat. Thoughts and prayers in the chat.
Thoughts and prayers in the chat. How is he doing? Let's give him a look. Hopefully we don't catch him in the act again. Hand in the cookie jar.
God, dude.
Oh.
Hand in the cookie jar once more. We're gonna have to go tell Sonic.
Folks, I think that's a sign. I hope you guys learned something today. It's that gambling never pays, even when it does.
We've got to go tell Sonic. What's he gonna think?
he's gonna be inconsolable, man.
I know. He's on the victory lap. He just defeated Eggman. He's like, oh yeah, my story's over. And he thinks about it. He's like, I gotta catch the next train. And that's it.
Yeah!
Thanks everybody for coming to the run. Thank you so much, Seth and Geek, for commentating. I appreciate it a ton.
This is a great time.
This is a super fun run. I am very proud to get a one flat in a marathon setting. There's a couple small things I could have done, like 1 or 2 deaths to mitigate that to been a sub-1. There have only been 3 sub-1s in the game's history so far. I was really hoping to have the 4th one here, but a 1 flat 48 RTA with an additional minute 30 pretty much of added RTA time from the new route. There's a good chance this is a really good run. I'll have to give this one a look later. You might have seen the new record here first. At the very least, this is super close to my PB. So I'm feeling really good about that. I hope everybody had a good time. And once again, shout outs to the Sonic Adventure community, shout outs to the tangentially related SADX community, shout outs to the even further tangentially related Sonic Adventure 2 and Battle community, and then the larger Sacer community as a whole. All the Sonic Adventure games are underneath one umbrella, and I think that's the sickest thing in the world. There's so much support here for everybody that plays within this era. I'm so glad to have kind of kicked off like this mini Sacer block in a way. We got Sonic Adventure 1, we're going into Sonic Adventure 2 all A ranks by Deku, which is going to be
That's gonna be
super
sweet.
dope run. Then right into the Heroes LTA. What more could you want, really? Like, it's going to be so sick.
This is a good thing to wake up to if you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, wake up for some Sonic. Wake up and smell the rings. We got that Folgers in your cup. We got those onion rings in the toaster.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Actually,
Yeah, well, you put them in a little bag first, whatever.
okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much. My name is Withermin, twitch.tv/Withermin.
Go follow. You're going to see some cool stuff coming up for sure, always.
Absolutely. We're going to be pushing for sub 50 RTA or LRT soon. We're on the cusp, and yeah, we're going to see how much further this game can go. It might be from 1998, but the future is not yet decided. So yeah. Thanks, y'all. Have a nice day.
The legend
Enjoy
will
the rest.
never die.
Enjoy the rest of Pace. It's gonna be dope. The legend will never die.
Urban Arts helped prepare me for college by giving me a lot of experiences working both independently and collaboratively with other people to make really cool games, and taught me how to put my all into creative projects, and that helped me put together a very strong portfolio for college.
The best part about being in the urban arts community is the people that you meet. A lot of the people here have the same interests as me, so in the future, making friends here will benefit me and them and everyone around, because we all benefit from each other by gaining skills that other people had that I may need.
Urban Arts helped me see myself differently by showing me that I can be a good leader. In the studio program, I was assigned the role as project manager, and fulfilling that role for the first time actually helped me realize that I have good leadership skills, and it really helped me to develop them.